Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with a Love Activist. Today I'll be sharing with you my last womb mapping session with Gogo Sophia, where we talk about the womb water, which is located in our left ovary. Now, if you joined us for our live with Shannon Pam, you'll remember that she said that in both men and women, there are masculine and feminine energy. Now, sometimes we work from our or respond from our immature masculine or feminine energy, or from our mature or divine feminine or masculine energy. Now, in this episode, we'll be talking about the feminine energy, which is where the womb water and the left ovary deals with, and how we can receive from our divine masculine. Now, if you're anything like me, I have issues with receiving, and I miss out on the beautiful gifts that the divine masculine has, so that the divine feminine in me can create, manifest, and create an abundant, beautiful, voluptuous life. So subscribe, share, and stay tuned for an incredibly special episode.
How's the integration?
The integration has been interesting. In the beginning, I have tried to avoid it. I won't lie. I literally got off the call and had like a beer and ice cream. I was just like, this is a lot.
Really?
This is a lot.
Oh,
I'm gonna just numb and dumb all of this that just happened because
you.
it's so much. And then yesterday I had the conversation with Quentin um, about the baby. Well, first I went. I think that's why I had avoided the integration for so long because of the questions and having to answer why do I want this baby? And at the time my period hadn't come and I was worried, like, where is it? What's going on? Um, and when it came, now after we had our session, I was like, okay, this is because the plan
I
was
had a
as soon as the
sense.
period came.
I had a sense that it came like this morning. There was just something within me that was like, no, okay, it's time now. Like it should be flowing now.
No, 100%. It's 100% flowing, and the plan was to quite immediately, as soon as my period is done, start trying. But now, we're like on a whoa, 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 whoa. Let us actually set the stage. Let us be very intentional about what we're about to embark on. We've been given instructions to start communicating with this child. Uh, we're gonna do a naming ceremony for the babies that we lost. Just really setting the tone and setting the stage. And we even spoke about it with our couples coach in terms of tools to have the conversation in a really untriggered, constructive way. Because for a long time, Quentin didn't want to have a second baby. But he was the one who's like, I'm at peace. Let's get going. Let's do this. The finances will come. We like swapped. He became the emotional empath and I became the cognitive empath who was like calculating, okay, we need to call Rob, our broker, so that we can do A, B, C, D, E, F, G and just get our house in order. Whereas I wasn't there before. And now I can feel that this child is like, this is how I want to arrive. I don't want disorder. I want peace. I want peace. So dot all your I's and cross all your T's. And yes, feel, but also do the boring admin stuff and take it seriously. So yeah, it's been an interesting week.
That's incredible. But it's incredible, right?
No, I mean, I literally was looking at Quentin going, who are you? Who are you right now? Just such a softening and a vulnerability that I haven't experienced before, and a calming on his side. And I asked him, like, where did this piece about having a second baby come from? Because we've been having this war for like 4 years. And he's like, it came from you. Seeing you do all this work and be intentional with your healing and fight for yourself. Watching you do that gave me peace to know that when the baby comes, we are ready. We are in a good place. We won't have a repeat of the past where, you check out and try to escape through work and all those things, because you're past that. You've grown past needing validation through work, needing validation through a baby, needing validation from anybody. So it's incredible.
That's beautiful because, we're working with the water element, which is the left ovary today. And it is about the balancing of the masculine and the feminine. And when we get to that point, and as a womb priestess working with many women that are in relationships, by the time that they reach womb water, by the time that they start to embark on their journey with the water element of their womb, their partners have completely shifted.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
100%.
Through these 4 ground gates, you're initiating your own inner masculine.
Okay.
Have a relationship. When you embark on a relationship with your own inner masculine, it will impact your relationship with your partner. And in some sense, you are midwifing his inner masculine to reclaim his divine feminine. So that softness that you are talking about, that calming down, those are the qualities of the feminine. Being more intuitive, slowing down, being more receptive.
Yeah, I mean, just to give you an example, he was having a contrasting moment with his father, and he was able to say to him, this is an opportunity for us to work on our relationship and trust each other. And this is an opportunity for us not to create more resistance in this situation and just stay in an optimistic vibration. My husband doesn't talk like that. He doesn't talk like that. But he's out here talking about we need to stay in alignment with what we want to do. And that means making sure our emotions are not triggered, because then we're going to repel all that we're trying to bring to each other.
Isn't that incredible that when we as women take responsibility for ourselves, that it automatically heals the relationship? And this is the inner marriage that we're talking about, okay? Marrying yourself first, because we often project our stuff, our unhealed wounds on our partners. Okay? But when we start to marry ourselves and we start to bring that healing within, it will reflect in our relationships, because Quentin feels, there's an openness, there's a lack of judgment from your side, a lack of expectation, and the willingness to listen rather than just defining your roles, but to actually listen to the heart.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Such an incredible place to be at this point in the journey. It's going to open up new doors for your relationships, deeper levels of intimacy.
Yes.
Right? So this is where the real work begins, but this is where you really get to experience the wealth and the richness of being in a relationship and the opportunity for growth. So we'll be working with womb water, which is the 4th element that we will be working with. It's all about embodying the feminine. It's all about flow. It's about the ability to receive love, and it's about the ability to embrace love and receive love from the masculine. Okay, to dance beautifully with your inner masculine. Remember, we worked with the right ovary, which is about your fire, okay, which is about your presence, which is about being assertive, being the go-getter, see shining. Okay, but obviously there has to be a balance, okay, between our masculine and our feminine energy. We have to know when to give, and we have to know when to receive. We have to know when to recede. We have to know that a big part of our creation, okay, is a co-creation with the divine. Okay, so we create in the stillness, we create in the silence. Okay, and our action is motivated by our divine intention. So where do we seed? Where do we plant? You know, as women in our modern day society, we are so used to giving. We're so used to over giving. Okay? We're so used to the masculine way, or the masculine perspective of achieving our goals and achieving our dreams, and always being out there, putting ourselves out there, and being in that go, 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 go mode.
Yes.
Especially from a place of fear. And we spoke about that, yeah, I just feel like in order for me to be worthy to receive, I have to do something in order to receive.
I have to earn it.
You have to earn it, yeah. But the feminine, okay, the high priestess, because the left ovary is about the high priestess. And they know that by virtue of being alive, they deserve to receive. They deserve all that they desire. So it's also really to reflect on in your own life. How easy is it for you to receive?
How easy is it for me to receive? I'm better now. I'm much better than I used to be. I used to associate receiving with debt creation, that I'm going to have to pay this back, whatever form this giving takes, I'm going to have to pay it back, whether it's Quentin doing something kind for me. It's like, okay, I have to do the balance sheet and do something nice for him back. If my mom borrows us some money so that we can, make it to the end of the month, like, I need to do something to balance that out. I need to go and lavishly cook or do some kind of balance to kind of balance out what I've just received. So in the past, it was very, even just a thing of receiving help from the divine. You'd ask for help from, the Lord, your guides, whomever, but you'd be like, will I be able to pay back when this comes through? And so obviously, what does that do? That just creates more resistance in your way, So, but once I read this beautiful book called Ask and It Is Given. And it is all about getting into the receptive mode. It's about the fact that manifestation is all about getting receptive about what you've asked for, because what you've asked for has been given. The problem is it coming to me via whether I believe I deserve what I've asked for, or whether I believe I have to earn what I've asked for. And so I would say I'm much more receptive than I used to be. It's still a work in progress, but I know that this journey, this is what it's about. It's about confirming my deservability to myself so that I can receive all the things that I am, all the things that I've created, and daily I can feel the bigness of me, the cosmicness of me, and the unquestionable deservability that I have gets cemented every day when I practice that, I deserve a life filled with fun and joy and lightness and wonder and surprise and contrast and more creation and all the things that life is about. So I can say that I'm much more receptive than I used to be.
Let's go into a deeper inquiry. So we're going to start off by just you closing your eyes and just allowing yourself to relax. Just calling in your I am presence, your higher self. Good. How is that? How is making that inquiry?
When you said, is there any leakages? I felt a tug, and it almost felt like the front side of my ovary, the face side is fine, but the back side, all the way like that, is not. It's closed. It's felt heavy. It felt cold, but the front side, almost the facing side, seemed to be intact.
Yeah, your relationship with the masculine and resentment, any resentment towards men that
I didn't feel any resentment, but when you asked about how receptive am I to an orgasm, then I was like, I am not. I do have a lot of resistance around an orgasm. It is easier for me to access my more feminine side, the softer parts. I resent having to be decisive. I resent having to have hard conversations. Those are very, very difficult for me, even if it's a small thing like asking my helper to clean the windows. It's like so hard for me. It's easier for me to encourage and to love people. It's harder for me to place boundaries and have hard conversations. So what did come up is, as much as I don't resent men, I do resent women who are more in touch with their masculine side. There is definitely a jealousy around women who are more balanced or more in touch with their masculine side, who are able to speak up and say that this is where my boundary is and do not cross it. I do find myself jealous. Maybe resentment is not the word, but jealous of those women who are more in touch with their masculine side.
Yeah, because you're suppressing your own power. And when you see that power being reflected in other people, because you're suppressing it within yourself, it makes you rather angry and triggered.
Yeah.
Okay. And you will tend to attract more aggressive or intimidating behavior from other people to constantly remind you of the masculine within yourself that is wanting to support you, to be present. Okay, so how do I marry the masculine so that the masculine can step forward, and it is the role of the masculine, okay? Because there's this expectation that this aspect of you that is feminine, that is soft, that is loving, that is intuitive, that is compassionate, is doing that job. Okay. But it is in marrying the masculine that we get to call on the support of the masculine to play that role. So we can really look at what is that belief? What is that core belief system that you're holding on to that is not allowing you to feel supported by the masculine? Yeah, let's look at this slight resentment or this jealousy that you have towards those that you feel, are more in alignment with your masculine. Okay, and what is holding you back from receiving that support from your own inner masculine? Okay, and what is blocking that intimacy? And I just get a sense of being afraid to open up and to share and to express your feelings and express your inner yoke, and a fear of rejection around that. Are you okay?
No, I am.
Yeah. Are you feeling cornered?
No, I'm feeling, I thought I dealt with this already feeling. That's how I'm feeling. So maybe it's a feeling of, how did I hide this from myself still? Why are there still corners? Like, it's a feeling of being annoyed with myself, because I thought that by doing this journey, by cultivating ways of expressing myself, I thought that's what I was doing. So I think it's that annoyance with oneself that, there's still residues.
Yeah, but you're healing, many years of trauma, and you're healing lifetimes of ancestral trauma. And you can go through the Grail gates once, and you can go into another spiral, and you can go into a deeper spiral. So when we do the work, there's always room to continue to spiral deeper into the healing. So you can't, become impatient with yourself. Okay, because there's always more to learn. There's always more to grow. And remember that the layers that we're working through that are on the surface are opening things up for the much deeper, darker layers. Okay. And when you do this work, you are accessing more light. It's like you're accessing the torch to actually begin to do the real work. Okay. So we start with a CPR, because you can't do psychotherapy if you need CPR. It's like, it's that rescue. It's a soul rescue. And then once you've done that, you then move into then the doctor comes to see you. Okay. And then there's a treatment program. Then there's rehabilitation. Then there's, I need soul retrieval and therapy. So there are always different layers, and we can only celebrate what is being shown to us in every moment. Yeah, and it's not a competition. There's no race. There's no, there's nothing to be won. That is ultimately what the feminine reminds us of. And only you are putting pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing else. And no one else.
be healed already type of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's to be in the journey and to be present. And because when we become impatient with ourselves, we want to get to the end goal and not allow ourselves to be in the present moment and to be in the experience. Yeah. So yeah, the feeling of being abandoned and your mom again.
Oh gosh, yeah. Okay.
And around the age of 6.
Oh, well, that's when my little brother was born.
Mm. Wow. And it's the brother, right? So it's again that masculine. Yeah.
Hmm.
That resentment maybe towards the masculine because that was your interaction with your brother. So it's separation and that pattern of feeling abandoned, feeling neglected, and the feminine within you feeling neglected by the masculine.
Mm.
And that obviously created that worldview, okay, seeing things in separation. And that anxiety that you feel around expressing yourself, okay, that anxiety that you feel about, sharing your feelings, sharing your emotions, okay, but not being anchored by the masculine, not being supported by the masculine within you because you felt that neglect, you felt that separation. Do you remember anything at all about the time that you were 6?
I just remember, that soon after my mom came home with my brother, then obviously they were in like a bubble in her room together. But soon after, she had to go back to work. And watching her mourn the fact that she has to leave her 3-month-old baby, there was a jealousy of, I don't think you would mourn being away from me like you are mourning being away from this person. I don't remember much else, but I do remember feeling as though, and throughout my childhood, that he got more attention than me, he got more love than me, he had more space to be moody and throw tantrums and all these things, and that was not space that I felt like I had. I didn't feel like I had the space to express myself, or I felt like my mom was much softer and much gentler with him than she was with me.
Yeah, so she was validating the masculine more than she was validating you as a young girl and as a woman. So, even the way we as women midwife our children, okay, and we take favor to the sons. So it's like it's a pattern, right? That our mothers, when bringing up their children, yeah, okay, in the way that we're midwifing our children, okay, and neglecting the feminine, okay. Whereas it could have been your mom that if your mom had healed her relationship with her inner feminine, she would have known that she would have supported your brother to nourish his inner his inner feminine,
Mhm.
right? So that, there's no favoritism. There's more equality. Okay, so we share the chores. Okay, so yeah, Tole's insights and her feelings, and yeah, it's the same as, it's equal to the brother, the young man. So the way we raise our kids as women ancestrally, okay, in this suppression of our inner feminine
Mhm.
and everything that represents the feminine, which then informs how you perceive yourself as a woman. Maybe you perceive yourself as being weaker. You may have perceived yourself as your ideas being less important
Mhm.
and always having to prove yourself. Does it resonate?
Yes. Even the women who are more in touch with their masculinity, the jealousy was of my mom, because my mom is quite in touch with her masculine side and has had to develop her feminine side over the years. So definitely that jealousy um, was directed at my mom, because my mom was the go-getter. She was that, empire building, pioneering spirit, you know. So yeah,
And you beat yourself up about it because why can't I be like mom?
exactly. Yeah. Why can't I navigate these spaces with as much ease and much strength as my mom does?
Yeah, I think it's time, my darling. I think it's time to have that conversation with your inner masculine. Okay. And what's your relationship like with your father?
My relationship with my father, funny enough, as much as my father was um, not present for a long time because he wasn't sober to be present, I found it much easier to forgive him. I found it much easier to accept that this is the capacity this person has to love me, to care for me, and he may never be able to give more than he's already giving. And I was able then to release a lot of expectations around that. And then when he became sober 3 years ago, our relationship is soft and emotional, and he's so encouraging and so loving.
Do you
It's
see him reflect the feminine within you that is needing that masculine support?
yeah,
Feminine that's yearning for that recognition, to be seen, to be honored, to be.
yeah, 100%.
Let's do that inquiry with your inner masculine. Okay. So how are you feeling?
I have a numb pain here on my ribs at the back.
Mm.
It's a distant pain, but it's there, and it's actually reminding me that on Sunday, I just the middle part of my spine just contracted, and I was in so much pain. Like I had to go down on my hands and knees,
Wow.
and the pain went from the back to the front, all the way to my womb. It was very intense.
Yeah, when our back is out, that's when we don't feel supported.
Mm.
So our spine overcompensates for all the support we're not getting. So we contract because we're trying to support ourselves, right?
Yeah, so there was that, and then I also felt a big mistrust between my feminine towards my masculine. Almost like a child covering her face and facing her back towards. That's what it felt like my feminine was doing towards my masculine, that she was covering her face and turning her back. And the masculine definitely felt rejected and unseen. Yeah, and as a result, and though I felt a lot of hiding. So hiding myself under the softness of, or under the guise of softness and femininity, and hiding myself in there. That's what it felt. It felt like there were so many places to hide within myself. That's what it felt like, and it definitely felt. It felt like, like a vengeance, like when you're around, things get taken away, things get broken, things get hurt, and so I'm going to reject you before you can reject me.
Remember that as a high priestess, we have to remember that we are both the co-creator, but also the mother of the masculine, of the divine masculine, because all men are birthed through a feminine womb. Okay, so instead of turning to vengeance, it is turning to the unconditional love of the mother. So when we reclaim our feminine, we can truly forgive the masculine, because the masculine is a child. It is the divine child of the mother. We give birth to the masculine. Okay. So it's about forgiveness and realizing that the masculine is behaving in this manner because they've been separated from the feminine. They haven't been allowed to reclaim their inner feminine. It has just been as painful to be separated from their inner feminine as it was for us to be abused by the masculine. So when we understand the context under which that is happening, and we forgive ourselves and we forgive the masculine, okay, because it has also, just endured to the point where it doesn't even know how to awaken and to return to the feminine, to reclaim its feminine. How hard it is for men to even connect with their hearts and their feelings and their intuition. So allow yourself to integrate. So what you're going to do is everything that, this separation that you're witnessing, this resentment that you're seeing, you're going to do a ceremony in the full moon. So it's full moon in 2 days. I think it's 2 days or 3 days. So in the full moon, you are going to make a womb pouch. And
pouch.
A womb pouch, yes. So I'm going to email you the info. So you're going to make a womb pouch. And I want you tonight, with however much you have bled, to put your blood in this womb pouch. So maybe you can bleed onto some cotton wool, or you can bleed on the actual cloth. So you can find a cloth, bleed into that, and you're going to put 4 elements in there. So anything that represents the earth element, it can be a plant, it can be soil, It can be something that represents the water element, like like essential oils. You can put anything that represents the air element, like a feather, or anything that represents a fire element, like incense. Okay, or so, and you can put crystals in there, and you're basically, it's like a sacred dispatcher, and you're going to write a letter of everything that you are releasing. So everything that you've experienced during this journey of working through the 4 chambers of your womb, including this resentment and anger that you feel towards your inner masculine, and you're going to write that down to release all of that with your menstrual blood. You're going to fold it up like a gift, and you're going to burn it on the eve of the full moon. Okay, you're going to do a massive fire ceremony. Okay, and it's going to be perfect because you've got a bit of blood there. Yeah, your first your first blood after you've taken out the loop. Wow, just so beautiful. So you're able to use that blood. It's a magical potion. It's like this sacred ritual that you're just clearing, you're releasing. So it's so beautiful that you're bleeding and you're releasing and you're clearing all of that out and giving it to the fire. And fire is very powerful for transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's powerful. I think it's full moon in Cancer. I just need to double check. But there's a conjunction with Cancer and another planet. Yeah. And I will send you also the audio for your integration. Okay. To see, what is ready to be birthed after that fire ceremony. What is ready to now emerge from that death. And these are our 4 sessions.
It went by so quickly. The morning course felt longer than this.
Yeah, it was just like. Yeah, so you're going to end it off with this fire purification ceremony, which is such a beautiful way to close.
The work.
Yeah. Big work, lots of work, hard work.
Like my head is like spinning.
And you don't have to love this. Okay. But you see the results, you see the shifts in your reality, in your world, in your relationships.
There was a special moment where the masculine kind of reached out and said, I'm here to help. I'm here to help you get seen and get heard. Turn around. I can lighten the load. And there's a process of that turning around, but I did feel like this happening like all across, and that's a process. It's not like, oh, now we're all integrated and we're all going to work together as a team. I understand that it is a process because there was hiding again and calling out again and hiding again and calling out again. And I had quite a significant dream that I am feeling strongly led to share with you. So the day before the dream, Quentin was speaking to his friend Olympia, who does shamanic work. She did shamanic work in Peru and all over. And that night I dreamt that I was in this big bathroom or bath, and the bath was like full of like milky water. And in the bath, I'm trying to bath Miley, but she, I'm rushing and trying to get her ready for school. But this bath is huge and she keeps slipping out of my hands and kind of disappearing in the water. And she's calm and cool. And I'm like, we need to go to school. And while that is all happening, there's like this glittery golden mists around us, like a path of glittery floating like above our heads or like eye level. That's like, in cartoons, when a cartoon smells something and you see the aroma, something like that, but it's literally made of crushed gold. That's the only way I can put it. And I'm not paying attention to this thing that's happening. And the shaman friend is holding like what looks like a makeup pouch with this glitter coming out, and she's almost tracing this glitter like a compass. And she gets to us, she's like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be, something like that, like I've arrived at my destination where this glitter was leading me to. And then I woke up.
Yeah, so the room is like a map.
Mm-hmm.
Rail gates, it's the navigation system to where so when you go through the Grail gates, it's like a map to, your divine destiny. Your divine blueprint is held within the womb. And when we work through our traumas within that, what emerges is the map that is hidden from us. That is our blind spot. Okay. And again, it's reawakening to the feminine, because you were so distracted by being organized and trying to get Mali ready and out of the water. But by by returning to the feminine and being still and slowing down and meditating, you're really able to, track the golden compass to, And I think we should just, before we close, go back. I want you to go back into your left ovary. Okay. Yeah, and how was that?
It was actually quite funny. It felt like a guy who has a crush on you, who's just like, just let me romance you. Why won't you let me court you? I want to plan the dates. I want to provide the space where we're, giddy with each other. Why won't you let me do that for you? Let me find the resources to have romantic experiences with each other. Let me go do that. I want to go do that. I want to take you on a romantic trip. Those are the things I want to do. Let me do it.
So what I want you to do as part of the integration is, and this is not putting expectations on Quentin, this is connecting with your own inner masculine and allowing the inner masculine within you to do that. Okay. And finding the time to spend with your inner masculine, to romance, through taking long, luxurious baths, through journaling, through dancing, through touching yourself, through, just being sensual with yourself. But this is between you and your own inner masculine. And that masculine is God. Okay, the divine. And it is the divine that is pursuing you and saying that I want to be a part of your life.
Mm.
You're not letting me in.
You're not letting me in.
Okay. It is a merge between the masculine and the feminine being our body, our sensuality. Okay. And the masculine being the light that animates and co-creates and merges and makes love and plants the seeds so that the feminine can give birth.
Mm. Mm.
And so that can be a really sensual, orgasmic experience where there's an innergasm. You know, there's like this inner gasm that is happening. Okay, that spark, yeah. Okay. So I invite you to explore that. Okay, my darling, it's been such an absolute honor to hold sacred space for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it ended way too quickly, but it's fine. There's more. There'll always be more.
Yeah, there's always more. You know, it's, you know, there's 8 grail gates, and you can always just go deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay. Into the sexual rites of passage, and yeah. Okay, and yeah, I pray that the Mandao and Oshun and Yamanya, that they really bless you and they bring that flow into your life, and for your path to really flow and for your path to truly open up. And that is a path to the truth, to your divinity, that starts to awaken within you, that you learn to honor divine will above all else. And that is what the mysteries, the womb mysteries teach us. That's what they guide us to honor divine will beyond everything else, above everything else. Okay, so may you be blessed by the beloved Shekinah, Christ light. Aho, beloved priestess. So we just give thanks to beloved Mother Shekinah, beloved Mother Sophia, beloved Mother Hathor, Maria Magdalena, Mother Isis, Mat. Giving thanks to the Grail Knights, Lord Yeshua, Anubis, that's been here very strongly and powerfully, Osiris. And continuing to call for the merge of the masculine and the feminine within all of us, within humanity, the healing of the split in consciousness. So we thank you. We ask you to continue to support Kule in her powerful awakening, in her healing, and for her integration to flow of divine ease and divine grace, and for you to strongly hold and support her during her full moon purification, so that she may emerge anew, so that she may truly anchor the inner priestess, the high priestess that is so wanting to be of service, but firstly to the service to the self, awakening to service to the self. And it is from the service of the self that we awaken to serve all of humanity. Beloveds, we are doing this work for all of humanity, for the all, for our children to be blessed, for our husbands to reclaim their inner masculine, for the healing of the planet. Thank you, thank you. We are so grateful for this beautiful opportunity, and may these opportunities to continue to become available, not just for us, but for all women, for all nations. Thank you. Oh, no,
this theme of romancing yourself. Again, you would think as a love activist I would know this. I would know that I am worthy of romancing my own self. Literally, when we did the last going back into the left ovary, it literally said to me that it literally bought a bowl of water for me to put my feet in, and I was like, I just want to love you. I just want to serve you. Why won't you just let me soak myself with you? Like, literally, what's the song? Mario song, you should let me love you. That was what my masculine was saying to my feminine side, and that I deserve, when we think of the perfect partner and the perfect relationship and the perfect whirlwind romance and what this partner is going to do and bring and give and the activities we're going to do, that's what the divine masculine was saying. Like, I want to do those things for you. Let me do them. Allow me the space to just love on you. I love you so much. I'm so turned on by you. Why won't you let me in? You're missing out on the greatest romance you'll ever have. So that was amazing. That was exciting, and I'm ready to take those solo trips, and I'm ready to take myself on shopping sprees, and I'm ready to do all these things that we want the perfect partner to do for us and to do for, and obviously I was like, but I don't have money to take myself to the spa. And the divine masculine was like, let me provide. That's my job. I go out and find the resources. Let me resource collect. It's my pleasure. I want to. Let me do it. So I'm excited for the great, beautiful romance, and it feels like the culmination of my self-love journey, and it's obviously the beginning of the great romance. That's the only thing I can call it, is the great romance. Bye guys.